Welcome, y'all. If you don't know what today is the draft that everybody's been waiting for, maybe just a couple people. I know us here at TTSN has been waiting for it, and I'm joined with these two lovely people.
What's up?
What's
What
up,
up,
guys?
guys? What's up?
So we need to get everybody in chat to start blasting their teams out, what teams you represent. And KT, we'll go with you first. The number one pick and on the board is Portland here really soon. So what do you look from Portland and what are they needing to take that step? You know, they got really, really close to break. We're working on it, guys. We're working on it. All right, guys. Sorry. Had to put the cord back in. Tripped over the cord there. Anyway, we're back. So as we were saying before, you know, the cord came out of the wall. KT, Portland's on the clock. All right. And Portland came real close to breaking that pinnacle, getting the championship game, had an amazing season and a great playoff run. What do they pick here in your mind? What do they need to get past that pinnacle to get to that championship game?
So from the moment that I saw the Portland draft last season, I said that they were going to be one of the more undersized rosters. They only had one true center, and they did really well, exceeding my expectations on that. I mean, like you said, they had a good season this last inaugural season, but I think that they're going to be in this draft looking for a big man, looking for someone to help Pharaoh Dotson. I mean, he was putting in a lot of work by himself, and they had guys like Rayshon Carter and Braden Hart just, doing all they could, but at the same time, another true big man, that'll go a long way for them.
Oh, 100%. KH, going off what Katie said about the big man needed there in Portland. Do you agree with that? And if they don't go big man, where else could they go with that first overall pick?
So overall, I 100% agree with KT's sentiment. They definitely do need a big man, as they were one of the more undersized teams in the league. So getting a big man can help relieve off of Pharaoh and Rayshon Carter. So, but if they don't go, they could possibly go somewhere like a small forward. So somebody like Vincent Graham that they could just pick up right there for the first overall pick. They just need somebody to help them in the forward position if they aren't looking for like a big man overall.
No doubt. And, a lot of trades happening in the offseason during the season to make sure they can get up in that top spot. And, y'all, whenever the draft order first came out, we knew that wasn't even close to what it was going to be. Things could still change tonight. Things could get shaken up. We could have people, Portland could trade away the number one overall pick. Do they? I don't know.
I mean, they traded to get there, right? So I think they sit, but that could be a headache.
Absolutely, 100%. And going down the roster of what's currently on Portland, you got Devon Davis, Ho Jarris, Velez. I mean, they got some superstars over there. And having the number one overall pick and getting that big superstar straight out of college, I mean, it's kind of scary, you know?
Yeah, they're gonna get who exactly they want to, and they don't even have to make it a secret at a point, right? Because who's gonna stop them? Who's gonna take it from them? That's their pick to have.
You know, I mean, the Memphis fire sale could happen again. Who knows, you know?
Yep.
They got a lot of stuff to trade away, don't they?
They do.
Okay, so let's get into the top positions here and what's needed by each team. And we'll start with the bigs, right? Let's go bigs and just pick who our best bigs are off this board, because that's what Portland needs, right? So what bigs do you think could go here in the number one overall pick, Katie?
I could really Heinkel, right? I mean, that's where we mocked Michigan taking Heinkel with the number one overall pick, and then trading away. Portland gets that spot. Portland gives up Romero to get to here. We know that there's probably a good chance they want another big man. I think Heinkel is honestly their best fit.
100% agree. KH, if you have the combine results pulled up, let's look at Heinkel and what his measurables were out there in the combine, because oh my gosh. I mean,
they were incredible for sure.
Yeah. That vertical, oh my goodness gracious, man.
That vertical was insane.
He's just a little taller than me,
too. Just a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bench 21.
Yeah, bench 21. He's got the vertical of 36 at 7'3". I mean, that could be a force crazy. Down low. I mean, but, hey, having him, like you said, paired with Farrow, do you think that's enough to have those bigs down there, KT, to make sure that Portland can get those rebounds and get that big defensive player down there in that underneath the basket?
Yeah, I think he'd be a really good complement to Farrow Dotson. And I think that even offensively, they complement each other very well, too, because they have a lot of similarities in how they like to play.
100%. Let's look at now. Let's go down and look at the top scorers here for the league. And KT, I'll let you take this. We get the graphic pulled up here and look at some of these guys and talk about their college careers. And who do you think is going first out of all these top scorers here?
It could be a couple of them. Honestly, between all five, I'd have to say Letterman or Graham, and depending on what a team wants. Graham's a little more of a versatile wing, I think, as far as that goes. Letterman could man that point guard spot also in a way that Graham that couldn't. So I think a lot of that comes down to a need at a point when teams get to there.
Hey, H, what do you think about those 2 point guards that are listed in the top scorers? Usually those point guards dish out, get a lot of assists, try to guard the perimeter up top at the top of the key. But these guys are averaging 16.3 and 15.3 points per game. What do you think about those 2 point guards listed as the top scorers here in the prospects?
Obviously during their time in the prospect league, like usually a point guard is to traffic the offense. They're the conductor and they start everything. So the fact that these guys have not only helped with assists but help with points, I think it's a huge plus into getting into the top 10 draft spots. So I think out of the two, I think Lingham is the one I would go first, but both of them are pretty good in regard.
100%. So that's going down the top scores there for the Prospect League. Yeah, Letterman, Graham, Lingham, Williams, and Island. KT, do all these guys go in round 1? Or is there a chance that some of these guys could fall?
On paper, I say they all go round 1. I'd say, honestly, on paper, they probably go all top 10 out of our 16 picks. So I could see someone maybe slip in just based on, like I said, team need, because ultimately that's what it comes down to, right? But I think they're definitely worthy of those kind of picks.
100%, 100%. Now, KH, if these guys do fall, any of these top scorers fall out of those 5 guys we just had listed on the screen, is that a steal or is that just criminal to have those guys fall that low? I mean, if those guys do fall out of the first round, it's 16 picks. I mean, if you're one of those top scorers, are you getting nervous when you get out of those top 16 picks, or are you just looking for a home at that point?
If you ask me, you shouldn't be nervous. Obviously, if you're down that low, it's going to be a steal. But
Right.
other teams are looking for not just scoring, they're looking for passing, they're looking for athleticism, rebounding, defense, all that sort. So they're looking for other factors. But if you can continue your scoring into the prospect league, into GSB, then obviously it's going to be a big plus for whoever gets you in those lower rounds. So I wouldn't say that they should feel bad for not being the top 10. They should just take a little chip off the block, just keep going. So it's going to be a steal, obviously, for whoever gets any of those top 5.
100%. Now, we've seen the top scores. Now, but what do you have to do to move the ball around? Got to kind of pass it, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
getting the assists, moving the ball around, what do a lot of teams like to do? Pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. Some teams can eat you up with it. So let's look at our top passers and see which one of these guys could go and make a huge difference for a team. And KT, let's start with Love Lockdown.
Yeah. This is a guy that is a little undersized, right? I think he's around 6'1", 6'2". So this is a guy that a lot of what he has to do is with that ball movement and try to set people up. He's never going to be someone that's super dangerous in the interior. So what he does bring to your team, obviously, 5.3 assists per game. I mean, it's hard to argue with the numbers there, right? Like there are some point guards that you just don't see get those kind of numbers in the pros either. So he definitely is doing a lot of work there.
100%. You can go down the list, KH. What I'm really interested in is the strong forward as a top passer there in the top 5. Let's talk a little bit about Polly Truth.
Lizzie Gang. But yeah, it's something you wouldn't see out of a forward, but he's definitely had opportunities and he's definitely capitalized on passing to his teammates and making the easy basket. So I think that's a plus as him in the wing. So I think that's something just owners and GMs should just look out for it into this draft.
100%. And so now you move the ball around. You can do pick and roll. We've looked at top scorers. We looked at passers. But if you really want to win the game, what wins championships, KT?
Defense.
Let's take a look at them. Let's look at our top defenders, because if we can't stop them from scoring, you know, excuse me, guys, sorry about that.
Good.
Fire radio's going off, but it ain't me. It's all right. I'm not disregarding life. So, KT, top defenders here. Go down. What sticks out to you out of these 5 guys?
Honestly, we've got a lot of variety in positioning here. Devontae Moore, Goshen. No, these guys all play different positions. It's pretty impressive to see. And to be able to be that active as far as the defense goes, it can be invaluable to the team, especially when all these teams are going to be needing different things and looking for different positions. You're muted, Muse.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's so y'all got a thunderstorm rolling in there now. Thank you for the rain, but KH, go through those top defenders, and what's one guy that sticks out to you who could really make a difference going in the top 10 or top 15 here?
To say Devontae Moore, I haven't heard a lot about Devontae Moore or people talking about him, but he's been one of the best defenders in the prospect leagues and in FIBA in general. So he's definitely someone to look out for. He could possibly be a possible 3-and-D. He's definitely got the perimeter locked down. So I think that's a big plus for him.
Okay, so we need some interior defenders now, right? You need guys that they're slashing, getting to the basket. No one wants to be posterized, right? No one. I've been on a poster myself. It's not fun.
Oh yeah.
So to keep some guys, we need some guys on the team to prevent that from happening, right? So let's look at interior defenders here. And KT, there's a bunch of names here that we've talked about in the podcast before that we predicted to go really high. Who's your guy out of these 5?
2.4 blocks per game is kind of ridiculous, Mears. I mean, all of them are solid numbers. I mean, Skylar Stevens at 1.7 is nothing to sneeze at either. But 2.4 blocks per game is just unreal for anybody at any level.
No doubt, no doubt. So, y'all, we want to talk more about these rim protectors, but one of the biggest things that's important to us as far as the team goes and managing team is getting rebounds, right? You have to get the ball back, especially offensive rebounds that are really hard to get. They're so elusive from it. So we'll pull up the best rebounders here we got. And Katie, tell me who out of these 5 or is a guy that could really make a difference. All of them are going to make a difference. We know. We know that. But those guys that got to you here, your best rebounders, who are you going with if you're up to pick these guys?
I mean, we're back with Heinkel, right? I mean, he's does a little bit of everything, as we've seen. Jamal Davis and Trent Ackles, though, also are making their way around and making that kind of impact. We saw them as well on the block. So obviously, it's not just rebounds for them that they're affecting a lot of that defensive end game. Just doing a lot for their teams. I could see any one of these guys being a big difference maker for somebody that needs another big man.
No doubt. KH, you see the numbers there on the bottom of the screen for the best rebounders. I can't talk. I'm having a stroke apparently. So KH, tell me these guys here who sticks out to you and who you picking.
3 to 5, they stick out to me. Definitely 3 to 5 because they're both Tulsa A&M players, which really speaks to the strength of that front court that they had because they both were leading top 5 into blocks and into rebounds. So they're definitely very, very strong in that regard. I would definitely look out for Tyree. He's a sleeper for sure, and if somebody gets him,
Love it, Tyree. Okay. All right, so guys, it's about time. So I know y'all have all been waiting for this, and maybe just a little bit, through FIBA, through prospect stuff, through combine results, through podcasts, through articles. Y'all, Portland, we're putting y'all on the clock. It's time to get going. Season 2's right around the corner. KT, KH, y'all ready for this? It's a long ride.
No, we're meaning business here.
Yeah, KH's been ready. All right. Y'all, Portland, we're putting you on the clock. The pressure's on. Let's go. So while Portland's making their pick, we talked about it a little bit, KT, when we first opened up. We've talked a lot about Portland already because they're the number 1 overall pick. Every draft you see, everybody talks about the number 1 overall pick because that's the guy that everybody's going to remember for a really long time. You go through all these number 1 picks that any league, any professional league has seen, sim leagues, professional leagues, everything. That guy's name's always there. You're Portland. You're on the clock. Who are you going with? The pressure's on.
Yeah, I'm sure they've been listening to us too, right? To talk about it.
A little bit.
Maybe doing some of their scouting through us. But if I was them, I'm going big man Heinkel, right? We've talked about the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Based on their performances last season, size was their issue. That is a big boy, right? That is a big dude.
Yeah.
And putting him with Dotson, they're in my conference, and I just don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I understand. And KH, do you agree with that? Do you agree with going Heinkel here?
Yeah, if Portland gets Heinkel, he's going to be in my conference too. But yeah, definitely. There's literally nobody I can see Portland, like just the top guy that Portland should be getting right now. Big, very tall, very menacing. Just go and get him already. Just get him.
No doubt. Just a little over a minute here left on the clock. And Portland, they could take their time with this, right? They could take the full 4 minutes they need to really look at their options here. I think they've known for a long time. That's the beautiful thing about having that number overall pick is you can sit there and you can really think, well, who's our guy? But sometimes that can hurt you a little bit, KT. You can look too much into it. You can make a mistake here. Do they make a mistake not going Heichel here?
Yeah, I think not going Heichel here, it would be a really interesting move. I think it would be a mistake, just based on their team comp. And the fact that they traded up to get to this point, they gave up Romero to get here. They gave up a season 1 vet. So they're going for someone big worth that pick.
No doubt, no doubt. And the pick is in, y'all. And now we're going to send it over to our lovely, beautiful commissioner, Rylock. So, Rylock, are we right? Here's a commish.
All right, with the first pick in the Season 2 draft, Round 1, Pick 1, the Portland Pioneers do in fact select Milton Francis Heichel, center out of Buffalo Tech. That puts New Orleans on the clock.
KT, you had it on tip of your tongue. Go ahead and talk, girl. You're right.
Yeah, now excited. I mean, that's a big get for them, right? That fixed a lot of their roster issues that they had some trouble with. But also, this is just a big get for them as far as locker room personality too. I mean, Portland's already one of those destinations that's pretty loud and proud, right? So add another guy to it.
Cage, real quick, give us a real quick breakdown of what he's going to bring to Portland, and then we'll move on and talk about some NOLA.
What he's going to bring to Portland. So, obviously, he's already been ready for a while for GSB. So, what I'm hoping to see from him is adding just extra defense for them, just adding some size against some of the bigger competitors out there, some of the Pedrazas, the Ikes of the league. You want to see him guard those guys. Don't let them get easy buckets. So just get in there, just do his thing.
Yeah, big force coming to Portland there, and congratulations to the number 1 overall pick, and congratulations to Buffalo Tech, because that's something you can boast about, saying that you have a number 1 overall pick in the draft, and that's definitely something that they can hang. No worries. Are we still live? Okay. No, you get, man.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yesterday the draft ended. Y'all have a good night. That was fast. And Sim League chats are brutal.
Yeah.
Was
Y'all
Sweet
can't hear
was
that
signing in
thunder at
Twitch
all?
chat? I can't hear the thunder.
It is cutting up, y'all.
Sweet was wild in Twitch chat. He was talking about why I'm so handsome. I'm like, what the?
Yeah. You good? My bald head. I don't have a bald head, fool.
Take off the hat.